Well, Sagittarius, do you see the fifth house here of your horoscope? It is about creativity. It's about love, romance, entertainment. It's about your children. It's also somewhat related to the higher mind. But right now, Saturn has just entered into this fifth sector of your Sagittarius horoscope, there in company of idealistic Neptune. This is about colouring inside the lines of a faded dream. Joy is going to become less about impulse now and more about meaningful creation. Your creative pursuits are going to be refined, more structured, and you're going to want to test them for endurance. You're not about fleeting ideas or concepts now. You want something that's durable. And in the realm of relationships, romance is going to give way to more emotional responsibility and reevaluation. So this is fun of a serious nature, I would say. And please take a look at this transit of the moon, especially around the 15th, because speaking about romance and love, we see that this transit of Jupiter, the last degree of Gemini, which is your marital sector, and the Sun in the 7th house, full moon on the 11th, bring this part of your life into much, much stronger focus. Venus, the planet of love, moving into the 6th house at this time. Jupiter moving into the 8th house of sexuality and intimacy. At this time, middle of the month, these issues come into focus. Relationships with children demand more effort, a lot more patience, and structure. If things have gotten out of hand, then you need to figure out a way to get things back on track. If you've taken risks in life, Saturn in that 5th house is going to tighten that. You're not going to easily part with your money or take uncalculated risks, not just with money, but with people, with situations, with new job offers. Gambling and risk-taking are a no-no really right now and don't work all that well for you. If they do, it will only be through long-term, steady and patient investment in traditional methods of earning money. Saturn is your finance planet. It also rules your contracts to some extent. They're in the 5th house. Your self-expression is going to mature during this period of time, Sagittarius. You're going to build a legacy. It's not about blah, blah, blah. It's about proving that what you do, what you create, is worthwhile. Jupiter moving into that 6th house also shows us that your intimacy, the emotional side of your life that you share with that significant other, is due for a reevaluation. Just as Saturn is a significant transit into your 5th house and lasts for approximately 2.5 years, Jupiter spends about 1 year here in this 8th house. You'll notice that there is a very sharp red line between Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn and Neptune. This is what we call a square aspect. It's a challenge. It's a distorted frequency between these two pairs of planets. Love life and intimacy. So whilst you want to expand your emotional and sexual intimacy with the person you love, Saturn's presence in the 5th house, again, is calling for a more responsible attitude in that area. And not sex or intimacy for sex and intimacy's sake. The new moon on the 25th here, in that same position, Mercury, new moon, Sun and Jupiter, all playing out in concert to drive this point home. This also has to do with the way you share money, banking, finances and resources. Earlier we talked about investment and doing something a little more structured, a little more traditional. Well, the 8th house also has to do with this. It's got to do with looking after your security, looking after the future, your retirement plan, how you're going to manage the latter part of your life. Probably something you young people don't want to think about, but you may be forced into that now. Not a bad thing to consider during this cycle of Jupiter in the 8th and Saturn in the 5th. Mars moves through the 10th house. The moon there around the last day of the month brings emotional energy to your work, stimulates you, inspires you, and gives you the dynamic drive to achieve what it is you want to achieve. There's more on this at astrology.com.au. Take a look at the links there. Read up more on what's going on. It'll fill in some of the gaps that I haven't maybe addressed for you. And please do subscribe to help the channel. Drop me a line if you need some help technically or you'd like a reading. I'm here at your service. And I'll be here again next month waiting for you with open arms and open mind. Take care now. Bye-bye.